Hi! In my previous video, I talked about the 4 key effects of meditation. And one of those things, the first key, talked about receiving healing. Healing is something that we could all use depending on whether we are seeking emotional healing or physical healing or energetic healing, just because we want to feel more energized throughout our day and not so tired. All these things are possible when we meditate and take time for stillness. And that golden orb of healing light that I spoke of is essential and so very possible in integrating, feeling better. And today in this video, I want to talk about using this healing light for any traumas, especially those that were created from our childhood. And it could be insecurity, rejection, low self-worth, abandonment. Just fill in the blank with whatever it is that triggers you. And I recommend beginning with one thing at a time, one issue. So for today, let's use abandonment. Abandonment is a trigger that I've personally have been healed from. And I say healed very loosely because it's something that I daily meditate, and so that's why I maintain this healing. So don't ever assume that it may be completely gone. It can be, but for me, I know that part of the reason why it has maintained not a trigger anymore is because I do spend daily time meditating and getting quiet. Abandonment, when we're little, whether we realize it or not, we carry it as an adult. And when we're with significant others, or we have friends or people in our family that can't be there for us and they can't show up for whatever reason, sometimes it's because there's substance abuse or alcoholism or abuse in other forms. And that person is doing the best that they can. So this is not about blaming whomever caused that initial trigger. All the lessons that we learn and that we carry from childhood, any hurts, any traumas that trigger us as an adult, we're meant to learn those things. Our soul wanted to learn those things. If you haven't yet heard of this concept, it is true, whether one understands it or not. And it's okay. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to help guide you to know that you can absolutely heal those triggers, heal those traumas using this golden orb of supernatural, miraculous healing light from the heavenly realms. The Archangels, the Ascended Masters, Holy Spirit, God, your higher self, your spirit guides want to send you healing, love, and light. But because we have free will, we have to ask. And we, at the very least, don't even have to ask if you decide to take that step and are intentional about meditating daily. You merely sit and receive and use your imagination to bring in the healing, to integrate this healing in every cell of your body, and allow all of your senses to receive it. I mentioned how as a child I dealt with abandonment, and that abandonment was caused by having alcoholism in my family. And that person didn't mean to cause me any pain. This happened to be my father, my earthly father. And I didn't understand it, why he always chose to drink over spending time with me. And it wasn't about me, it never was. It was about his coping mechanism. And I didn't understand that as a little girl. And I share a little bit about my story so that you can see that it absolutely is possible for you to move forward and transcend the illusions of abandonment. I understand today and hold only love and gratitude for that experience, because it has empowered me to move past it and to get closer to God and to embrace compassion and have greater love for myself and for others, and to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness for my dad, and forgiveness for myself, for giving my power over and allowing myself to feel rejected and abandoned over and over again, whether it was from my father or multiple other people that came and went from my life. So let's spend a few minutes just imagining this golden orb of light. All you do is you sit comfortably and get cozy. You can put a throw on over you. Just get very comfortable. And you can be reclining. And I do recommend sitting up as best as you can. Or if you're laying down, to prop yourself up against the wall or the headboard with some pillows. And begin to imagine, once your eyes are closed, a large orb of golden healing light just coming towards you, towards your head. And as it goes lower and lower, that you allow it to fill every cell of your being. And as you do this, you can envision yourself at whatever age you were when you initially started feeling triggered by abandonment or insecurity or whatever thing, emotion, or whatever situation causes you this feeling. And invite yourself at that stage in your life. I recommend, if you were little, to invite yourself to sit on your lap and hold yourself. That's you, your inner child. And you're giving yourself love through this meditation to your inner child. As you're receiving the golden light, you may invite your little self in and hold yourself on your lap. Because I have an intimate connection with Yeshua, with Jesus, I always imagine myself as an adult sitting on Yeshua's lap, and then my 5-year-old self would sit on my lap, and I would receive this golden healing light. So I highly recommend Yeshua because he is the epitome of perfect human love as the Son of Man, the Son of God. So if you didn't have a wonderful relationship with your own dad, he's wonderful to use. But if not, it's optional. And you can imagine just sitting in a golden chair, the most cozy and comfy, warm chair that embraces you. And receive this golden healing light. I recommend 10 minutes. 10 minutes is an excellent amount of time to imagine yourself in this light. And if you can't quite get there, I definitely would shoot for 5 and then add time accordingly. And if you do this daily, you'll start to see that you are feeling less and less triggered, or you don't have that trigger anymore eventually. I can't say when and how much time because everybody has individual results. I can say that at that time in my life several years ago, I was meditating twice a day, diligently, in the daytime before I started my day and before I went to bed for 30 minutes approximately at a time. And one day I realized that I wasn't triggered by that anymore, and it took time. For me personally, it took years. I know it was more than one, but it just depends on the person, and it depends how deep the trigger is as well, that emotional wound. If it cuts real deep, it'll take time. But I'm living proof that you don't have to carry that anymore. Meditation absolutely brings healing. So not only will you feel lighter and less stress in your daily, day-to-day operations of what you have to do, but you can transcend these limiting beliefs that have caused you pain and suffering, these emotional wounds and traumas. Do not have to be a burden that you carry anymore, but you have to make the time to put yourself first and to take care of yourself and show yourself love and allow this golden orb of miraculous, supernatural healing light to fill your mind, body, and spirit. And if you need help and additional guidance with any of this, I'm here to help support you, to answer any questions, or if you need a friend that can relate to what you're going through, please reach out.